Everyone deserves a peaceful nation.
Everyone deserves liberation.
Ceasefire now!
These are his words in a sermon on Saturday, December 23rd. We are angry. We are broken. This should have been a time of joy. Instead, we are mourning. We are fearful. 20,000 killed. Thousands under the rubble still. Close to 9,000 children killed in the most brutal ways. Day after day, 1.9 million displaced. Hundreds of thousands of homes destroyed. Gaza, as we know it, is no longer exists. This is an annihilation, a genocide. The world is watching, churches are watching. Gazans are sending live images of their own execution. Maybe the world cares, but it goes on. We are asking, could this be our fate in Bethlehem, in Ramallah, in Jenin? Is this our destiny too? We are tormented by the silence of the world. Leaders of the so-called free lined up one after the other to give the green light for this genocide against a captive population. They gave the cover. Not only did they make sure to pay the bill in advance, they veiled the truth and context, providing political cover. And yet another layer has been added, the theological cover, with the Western Church stepping into the spotlight. The South African Church taught us the concept of the state theology, defined as the theological justification of the status quo with its racism, capitalism, and totalitarianism. It does so by misusing theological concepts and biblical texts for its own political purpose. Here in Palestine, the Bible is weaponized against us, our own very sacred text. In our terminology in Palestine, we speak of the empire. Here we confront the theology of the empire, a disguise for superiority, supremacy, chosenness, and entitlement. It is sometimes given a nice cover using words like mission and evangelism, fulfillment of prophecy, and spreading freedom and liberty. The theology of the empire becomes a powerful tool to mask oppression under the cloak of divine sanction. It divides people into us and them. It dehumanizes and demonizes. It speaks of land without people even when they know the land has people, and not just any people. It calls for emptying Gaza, just like it called the ethnic cleansing in 1948 a divine miracle. It calls for us Palestinians to go to Egypt, maybe Jordan, or why not just the sea? Lord, do you want us to command fire to come down from heaven and consume them? They said of us. This is the theology of empire.
Christian friends rejoice with heart and soul and voice. Give ye heed to what we say. We call for a ceasefire today. We ask, what would Jesus do in Palestine? He stand for you. End the war today. End the war today. Good Christian friends rejoice with heart and soul and voice. Different views and different faiths, we all agree on what's at stake. No more genocide. has confirmed to us that the world does not see us as equal. Maybe it is the color of our skin. Maybe it is because we are on the wrong side of the political equation. Even our kinship in Christ did not shield us. As they said, if it takes killing 100 Palestinians to get a single Hamas militant, then so be it. We are not humans in their eyes. But in God's eyes, no one can tell us we are not. The hypocrisy and racism of the Western world is transparent and appalling. They always take the words of Palestinians with suspicion and qualification. No, we are not treated equally. Yet, the other side, despite a clear track record of misinformation, is almost always deemed infallible. To our European friends, I never, ever want to hear you lecture us on human rights or international law again. We are not white. It does not apply to us according to your own logic. In this war, the many Christians in the Western world made sure the empire has the theology needed. It is self-defense, we are told. And I ask how. In the shadow of the empire, they turned the colonizer into the victim and the colonized into the aggressor. Have we forgotten that the state was built on the ruins of the towns and villages of those very same Gazans? We are outraged by the complicity of the church. We are outraged by the complicity of the church. Let it be clear. Silence is complicity, and empty calls for peace without a ceasefire, an end to occupation, and the shallow words of empathy without direct action are all under the banner of complicity. So here is my message. Gaza today has become the moral compass of the world. Gaza was hell on earth before October 7th. If you are not appalled by what is happening, if you are not shaken to your core, there is something wrong with your humanity. If we, as Christians, are not outraged by this genocide, by the weaponizing of the Bible to justify it, there is something wrong with our Christian witness, our compromising the credibility of the gospel. If you fail to call this a genocide, it is on you. It is a sin and a darkness you willingly embrace.
Broken town of Bethlehem, your people long for peace. Barricades and barricades have brought them to their knees, but still they long for justice, and still they make their stand. Their hopes and fears
some of us have not even called for a ceasefire. I feel sorry for you. We will be okay. Despite the immense blow we have endured, we will recover. We will rise and stand up again from the midst of destruction, as we have always done as Palestinians, although this is by far the biggest blow we have received in a long time. But again, for those who are complicit, I feel sorry for you. Will you ever recover from this? Your charity, your words of shock after the genocide won't make a difference. Words of regret will not suffice for you. We will not accept your apology after the genocide. What has been done has been done. I want you to look at that mirror and ask, where was I? To our friends who are here with us, you have left your families and churches to be with us. You embody the term accompaniment, a costly solidarity. We were in prison and you visited us. What a stark difference from the silence and complicity of others. Your presence here is the meaning of solidarity. Your visit has already left an impression that will never be taken from us. Through you, God has spoken to us that we are not forsaken. As Father Rami of the Catholic Church said this morning, you have come to Bethlehem, and like the Magi, you brought gifts with, but gifts that are more precious than gold, frankincense, and myrrh. You brought the gift of love and solidarity. We needed this. For this season, maybe more than anything, we were troubled by the silence of God. In these last 2 months, the Psalms of Lament have become a precious companion. We cried out, my God, have you forsaken Gaza? Why do you hide your face from Gaza? In our pain, anguish, and lament, we have searched for God and found him under the rubble in Gaza. Jesus became the victim of the very same violence of the empire. He was tortured, crucified. He bled out as others watched. He was killed and cried out in pain, my God, where are you? In Gaza today, God is under the rubble. And in this Christmas season, as we search for Jesus, he is not to be found on the side of Rome, but on our side of the wall, in a cave with a simple family, vulnerable, barely and miraculously surviving a massacre, among a refugee family. This is where Jesus is found. If Jesus were to be born today, he would be born under the rubble of Gaza. When we glorify pride and richness, Jesus is under the rubble. When we rely on power, might, and weapons, Jesus is under the rubble.
In the bleak mid-war times, bright fire made known. Thousand people suffering, our hearts made of stone. Bombs have fallen, bombs on bombs, to bombs lead to peace somehow. In the bleak mid-war Speak out for the voiceless. People hear the call. Genocide is happening, and we will not allow. In the bleak mid-war times, ceasefire
when we justify, rationalize, and theologize the bombing of children. Jesus is under the rubble. Jesus is under the rubble. This is his manger. He is at home with the marginalized, the suffering, the oppressed, and displaced. This is his manger. I have been contemplating on this iconic image, God with us precisely in this way. This is the incarnation. Messy, bloody poverty. This child is our hope and inspiration. We look and see him in every child killed and pulled from under the rubble. While the world continues to reject the children of Gaza, Jesus says, just as you did it to one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did it to me. You did it to me. Jesus not only calls them his own, he is them. We look at the Holy Family and see them in every family displaced and wandering, now homeless in despair, while the world discusses the fate of the people of Gaza as if they are unwanted boxes in a garage. God in the Christmas narrative shares in their fate. He walks with them and calls them his own. This manger is about resilience. The resilience of Jesus is in his meekness, weakness, and vulnerability. The majesty of the incarnation lies in its solidarity with the marginalized. Resilience because this very same child rose up from the midst of pain, destruction, darkness, and death to challenge empires, to speak truth to power, and to deliver an everlasting victory over death and darkness. This is Christmas today in Palestine, and this is the Christmas message. It is not about Santa trees, gifts, and lights. My goodness, how we have twisted the meaning of Christmas, how we have commercialized Christmas. I was in the United States last month, the first Monday after Thanksgiving, and I was amazed by the amount of Christmas decorations and lights, all the commercial goods. I couldn't help but think, they send us bombs while celebrating Christmas in their land. They sing about the Prince of Peace in their land while playing the drum of war in our land. Christmas in Bethlehem, the birthplace of Jesus, is this manger. This is our message to the world today. It is a gospel message, a true and authentic Christmas message about the God who did not stay silent, but said his word, and his word is Jesus, born among the occupied and the marginalized. He is in solidarity with us in our pain and brokenness. This manger is our message to the world today, and it is simply this: this genocide must stop now. Let us repeat to the world, stop this genocide now. This is our call. This is our plea. This is our prayer. Hear, O God. Amen.
Amen.
Should genocide just be forgot? Will bombs lead us to peace? Their tears join ours as we declare, may war and violence cease. For peace in Palestine, my dear, for peace in Palestine, we'll drink a cup
gentle breeze and as free as the light of dawn in the sky. You sing like a bird whenever you soar, harmonizing with the divine inspiration. You frolic among the morning roses, basking in the radiance wherever it appears. You wander freely through the meadows, plucking the blossoms in their splendor. Such did God shape you, O Son of Existence, casting you into its life's expansion. Why accept the chains of submission and bow to those who have bound your brow? Silence within yourself the noise of life, the powerful hush when its melody resonates. Close your eyelids to the radiant dawn, for the dawn is pure in its brilliance. Contentedly live among the caves. Where is the anthem? Where is the glory? Did you fear the beautiful hymn of the sky, or dread the light that follows its glow? Rise and journey the path of life, for life waits not for those who sleep. Fear not what lies beyond the hills, for there is nothing but dawn in its youth. Otherwise, the fierce spring of existence embroiders its garments with the rose's charm, or the fragrance of morning flowers and the dance of rays among the waters, or the elegant pigeons of the meadows singing joyfully in their melody. Towards the light, for the light is pure and beautiful. Towards the light, for the light is the shadow of the divine. Written by a Palestinian poet, Abdel Karim El-Karmi.
We are the Ceasefire Carolers. We are here today with one message. We are calling for a permanent ceasefire, an end to the genocide in Gaza, an end to Israeli occupation and apartheid, the return of hostages and all political prisoners, for futures that have peace and safety for all who dwell in the Holy Land. We are here to condemn Islamophobia and anti-Semitism. We do not believe that anti-Zionism or critique of the Israeli state is equal to anti-Semitism. We are here today with a singular message. We are here to call in our Christian siblings. We are here to tell you that you must take action. Please call your representatives, email them, take action, talk with your family and friends. We must have a ceasefire. We need it now. If you are an elected that is a person practicing in the Christian tradition, we implore you to think about what the messages that we have shared with you today. The call from Palestinian Christians for a ceasefire now. We encourage you to take action. You can follow, if you're interested in learning more about Ceasefire Carolers, you can find that group. It's a decentralized action across the globe now with over 200 actions. You can learn more about it by following Ceasefire Carols on Instagram. Again, we are here as a decentralized action representing people all across the state of Pennsylvania. Thank you for being here. Ceasefire now.
So, give us a rundown about what you guys were out here doing today.
Sure, so we are out here today. We are the Ceasefire Carolers, and we are here today calling for a permanent ceasefire in Israel-Palestine.
All right, can you tell us a little bit of the selections of songs you had today?
Yeah, sure. So we sung a number of traditional Christmas carols, but rewritten to highlight what is happening in Gaza, particularly the violence and the suffering that we are seeing, because we believe that that's connected, not disconnected from our Christian tradition. And so we took those kind of carols that you may know and love, and we sung those kind of trying to highlight the stories that are coming from the ground in Gaza and calling for a ceasefire and for an end to the violence.
All right, and you had speakers throughout. Can you tell us a little bit about each speaker?
Sure. So Reverend Linda Noonan is here with me, and I'm sure she can speak. And the rest of the folks were really just highlighting something which was very important to us, which was to highlight the voices of Palestinian Christians in the West Bank and in Gaza throughout occupied Palestinian territories. So all of the talking that you heard today was a direct transcript of the sermon from Reverend Dr. Isaac Munther, who is a pastor in the West Bank. He delivered that sermon on Christmas Eve, and so we delivered it verbatim.
And can you tell us a little bit about how it feels to have everybody out here today?
Oh, the energy is wonderful, and it's so exciting to be in community. It sometimes can feel like there's no meaningful way to take action. You can see what's happening on the news and feel this deep sense of hopelessness, like what am I supposed to do? What could I possibly do to fix this? And I think this is a way to take that energy and channel it into something that is meaningful and creative too.
Can you talk about a little bit about how powerful the message is that you're doing this on Capitol steps?
Yeah, so we believe that it's important to speak truth to power. And what we know here in the United States is that Christian hegemony is a reality, and many of our decision makers and lawmakers practice the Christian faith. And so it's really important to us that our electeds, our decision makers know that we are watching them, they are accountable to the people, and that we are asking them to consider their Christian tradition, which we know that they do frequently. We're asking them to consider it in perhaps a different way to what they've thought of it before.
So today you guys were doing this on the steps. Yesterday afternoon, a different group was placing Palestinian flags out front of the governor's mansion all along Front Street. What kind of message are you guys hoping that these different events all kind of get across to, whether it be lawmakers or just people around the area?
Yeah, we are calling for a permanent ceasefire, for a free Palestine, for an end to the occupation, and for an ending to the violence. We don't want any more bombs on any more children.